Welcome Diecast fans. I'm Tom Spanners Watson.
And I'm Frank the Guru Gibbs.
Welcome to another DSPN report. Now first up, a reminder that the DIRS has just finished at Transport Diecast. If you haven't seen the first 4 races, go and check that out, and then head over to Monster Motorsport and make sure you subscribe for next week.
Now big news, 3D Botmaker put out his teaser for his new rally competition and it is looking gorgeous. Can't wait for that one. He was one of the reasons we got into this about a year ago. And I'm pretty sure everyone's going to be rooting for Stephen King to try and take another title.
Now speaking of rallies, we've got our own rally coming up this year and it's even bigger than last year. So we're running it across 5 totally unique stages. We're doing a stock and a modified class. And there are still a couple of positions left open. So if you're interested in being a driver or submitting a car, head over to chaoscanyon.online, check out the forum.
Now, our friends over at DRC did something really cool. They did a full-on behind-the-scenes video showing how they built the track, how they got into it all. And, you know, these guys hand-built the track out of cardboard, so no easy feat whatsoever. But they did such a good job. Their channel's really good quality, and I've been so impressed with that channel right from the start. Go and check it out. It's well worth a watch.
And our friends over at Flat Rabbit were doing some construction of their own this time, and they've extended their track a little bit more, so they were giving a little bit of a preview of what it looks like, and it is looking so incredibly cool, as you'd expect from Flat Rabbit. These guys do such a wicked job. Absolutely love their channel and really looking forward to seeing how this all pans out. Keep an eye out for Flat Rabbit, and of course they're in the DIRS as well, so make sure you subscribe to their channel.
Now into drag racing, we're going to kick off with Hot Wheels Calgary first and their daily races. So again, if you're looking for a daily fix of drag racing, go and check out Hot Wheels Calgary.
And then Diecast Racing Portugal was back at it with some more drag racing outdoors. So very, very keen, and I just love this track. It's nice and simple, but good clean racing.
Now Rust Belt, we're doing some more micro machine racing. And I'm really interested in his start gate there. It's got 6 different positions, so rather than just stacking the cars, they've got individual poles holding them up. Very interesting.
And then Red Pill Racing had a truck tournament, and man, there were some close races in this one. This was just one of the races, and check this out. They're basically nose to nose the entire time, just fractions of a second apart.
And then WeRaceDiecast, another member of the DIRS for this year, has his Zoom In Builders competition. Now this is really interesting because there was quite a discussion on the redlinederby.com forum about Zoom In castings and whether they should be raced or not. So I love that he's done a specific tournament just for it. Have a look at that one, very interesting.
Now BlueLine Racing were advertising their big tournament coming up. So these are heavyweights. These things are like 120 plus grams. So these are big beasts, and they are flying, so check that one out over at BlueLine Racing.
Now Low Country Diecast had their drag track, and I like this. It's laned for about 3/4 of the way, and then it goes into open track, and you see that both cars just getting a little bit loose, and you get that great footage from the chase cam riding along right next to them.
Simpson Diecast Racing more daily drag racing, and he's using his full 6-lane this time instead of just racing monster trucks.
And then Diablo Ridge, love this one. This is a fully flat track, so he's using launches, and it's just some great racing, and they're getting some good speed all the way to the end there. Have a look at Diablo Ridge Raceway.
Alright, we're just going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Into tournaments now. We mentioned that Transport Diecast Racing just finished up with the first round of the DIRS, and it was epic. Check out this race here. You see Glitch get past the number 1, then the other guy in the Mustang gets through, and then completely blows it in that last straight. You'll see it here. So Glitch was in second, gets past, the Mustang gets through, but then comes down, for some reason gets loose, goes up on the side, gets overtaken, and then nailed from behind and flipped out of the way and goes all the way back to last again. Just some great racing. Have a look at that one. Make sure you subscribe, and of course head over to Monster Motorsports. Make sure you subscribe there.
Now our own GT Manufacturers Cup was down to the finals last week, and there was just a huge competition, and that particular clip there was one of the early races where the BMW just got taken out completely. So the drivers were all fighting for position in these finals and wanting the most points they could, and they just didn't take any prisoners.
They certainly didn't, but it wasn't all carnage. There were some amazingly close races and some brilliant driving as well. If you haven't seen it, have a look. And then of course we started this week our Mustang Memorial Race Series, and a huge thank you to all of these drivers. This is a charity race. We're raising money for Hospice New Zealand, and every one of these drivers donated, and we've even had some other people donating to the cause as well. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. It's the first time we've ever done a timed qualifier, so it was really interesting for us, and it was on the new Helix 2.0 track, so have a look at that one. It's really exciting.
Now over to Monster Motorsport. We mentioned that he's got the DIRS that kicks off at his track on Monday next week, so make sure you subscribe. But while you're there, have a look at some of his other races. He's just finished the running of the Rim, and it was some really good racing here as well. You see here, the Triumph gets out in front, blazes the field, but check out how close the last three cars are. They're super close, and you go to the overhead cam, and there's like half a car length between every single one of them. It was awesome. And of course, Rubber Toe runs his races live on Facebook, so you can interact and comment while you're watching the video with him, and then he uploads it to YouTube later.
Now, another track in the DIRS is RTR Diecast Racing, and this was the Grudge Fest Extraordinaire. So this was not just Matchbox versus Hot Wheels, but there's actually two each of the Dodge Chargers racing. So two Matchbox, two Hot Wheels, and some really tight racing. You'll see a little bit of this later on as well. Head over to RTR and make sure you subscribe there.
Then Diecast Draggor continued on his Bring Your Beast competition, and we love this one. The GTR in the back behind the Corvette there, doing a big chase, gets all the way down and tries to get around it with this nice little move here, and then just some savage blocking shuts him off. Top
Driver were doing a NASCAR madness. Now, you know, we love some NASCAR ourselves, and check this out. Boom! Guy gets nailed in the first corner. Don't know quite what happened to him or why he got flipped out of the track, but he just got absolutely nailed right there. I think the car behind him was just a little bit faster, forced him into the corner, and he just got smashed off the track.
Now, Sonora Diecast Racing League had their Ford League races, and the black Mustang in the middle there, you'll see it race through to the finish ahead of everybody else here. This is a beautiful casting. It's an RTR casting, which we thought was a Mike Mays RTR diecast custom, but it's not. It's actually RTR from Vaughn Gittins Jr.
Now, M&M and their head-to-head races, just awesome. And this Lamborghini, the yellow car out in front, was super fast and just looked like it was going to have it all his own way the whole way through the competition. And check this out. Super fast, big run on the other car here, but check out this move coming up right here in the last straight, inches before the finish line. A stunning overtake move.
Yeah, that was just beautiful bit of driving and very clean overtake.
Yeah, it was just stunning.
Now, Cleveland City Diecast Racing continued on with his Thunder Cycles tournament. So these things have been really interesting to watch, quite crazy, and a lot more carnage tonight than there's been in some of the other races. Have a look at his channel. He's got lots of really cool racing.
Then we head over to Amigos Diecast Racing and their Hard as Nails tournament. So this was like qualifying, where the drivers were doing a single run to establish the fastest time they could to organise their ranks for the racing that's coming up.
Then Bay City Diecast has their Dynasty of Dodge tournament, and this is shaping up to be a real beauty. These are all mail-in custom cars, and there are some stunning vehicles, and I just love this track. It's such a good layout, such a good length, a lot of fun.
Now to street racing, we're going to kick off with Canyon Outlaws, and this was one of the early grudge races. So TKO and the Impalinator here, pretty much head to head. The Impalinator gets ahead, but look at this move by TKO. Just a beautiful overtake through Kahuna Corner, gets right up the inside after trailing, and then the Impalinator gets back on the inside, but because he's going in reverse, just didn't quite have the speed to take him.
And then Hot Car Track's been doing something quite different. Police pursuits, and look how many cop cars he's got. It's just brutal. So they have one getaway driver who's trying to cross the state line before he gets taken out by all the cops or slowed down by all the cops. A lot of fun, and there's heaps and heaps of racing. It's happening like every day. Have a look at his track.
And then we've got Chapman Films for some more street racing. And again, some tight racing here with this one. You'll see in the first straight, as they come down, you'll see the red car almost get pushed out here, but does a very nice job getting around, gets in front, takes the win. Great bit of driving.
Now, into special events, we're going to kick off with Beaverworx. Now, Blues Brothers is one of our favourite movies.
It sure is.
And we've been dying to see the Bluesmobile racing, and he put on a great show, has some jump cam footage. But check out this race. Just like in the movie, the cop car goes over and slides for miles, and the Bluesmobile's spinning around. It was awesome.
Now, Trax Racing. This is actually our pick for the competition for his new threes tournament. So the cars were just doing a speed test to set their pace so that everybody could go through and choose their car. That's the one we've chosen. We've got high hopes for it.
Checkered Flag Contention continued on with their soccer tournament, and check out this sweet goal. What a manoeuvre. Absolutely brilliant.
Then Diecast and Racing. This is a slightly different track to what we've seen before. Racing to a slightly different position. This Dodge Ram just got it all kinds of wrong. Again, it's a short track. It looks really easy, but you can see how difficult it is when you're getting bounced around like that. But a lot of fun with this track. I'm really enjoying it.
Now, something a bit different. Diecast GT does a test drive of a car. So this is the twin mill with the rubber wheels. But he doesn't just drive the car and test it. He also takes it into Forza Motorsports. So those of you with Xboxes, goes into Forza, sets up the cars to look exactly like the Hot Wheels version, and then he has the livery available for you to download to put into your own Forza game, which is really, really cool. Have a look at his channel. That's Diecast GT.
Now, into Trax by tonight. We've got a few here. So we've got Marcus Firegon, who races at the Canyon. He's starting up his new Snow Valley racing track, and this is looking like it's going to be a beautiful track. So very raw at the moment, but check that one out.
And then we've got Wingoyo. This is a new track that's just started up, just popped into our feed recently. Have a look at that one. Just search for Guingoyo.
And then we've got Dustin's Diecast Cars, so more into a drag race style rather than a full diorama. But, you know, it's something for everyone in this, and we like to highlight as many tracks as we can.
Into replays of the week, we've got some crackers. Back to Beaverworx for this Blues Brothers beast here. We love this one because it's straight out of the movie. Look at that roll and the slide with a little movie clip, cheeky.
All right, now, this was actually the last race in the GT Cup final. And this BMW did such an amazing job of staying on the track, forced over the side there, but somehow managed to get back up onto the track and not only carry on his wheels, but actually win that race. It was such a superb drive.
Yeah, that was absolutely brilliant. And speaking of brilliant, how about this piece of driving here by this Mustang in the qualifying tournament? Not only lay down a super fast time, but check out this barrel roll. And this was like the fourth fastest time, even with the barrel roll.
And then speaking of barrel rolls, over at Monster Motorsports, check this out. This dude out in front goes sideways and just gets ripped off the track and then punted by the car behind him. It was absolutely brutal.
Yeah, that is spectacular. Man, that guy got some major height. And then, and the guy that plows into him gets taken out.
Well, even worse than that. So look at that. That is such good height. But even worse than that, that dude that just got rolled off the track here, this is the next race. He punts himself into the same gate. I don't know how he managed it, but goes off the side and just smashes into the gate and flips himself up. It was just so hilarious. But Rubber Toe doing a great job over at Monster Motorsport.
And this final clip from RTR Diecast, I did talk to Mike about this and I called it. I told him some cars were going to plough into it. Absolutely nailed the final stand where the judges are. I mean, both cars looked like they were trying to take it out, which is a bit brutal. Now, again, a huge thank you to all of the drivers in our Mustang Memorial Race Series. Keep an eye out for it. It's going to be a fun series.
And of course, remember, Rally 2021 at Chaos Canyon, there is still just a couple of spots left if you want to send in a car, or you can even rent a drive in one of our cars. Head over to chaoscanyon.online for details.
And of course, for all your other racing information and competitions and stuff, make sure you head over to redlinederby.com. It's a great resource for all diecast needs.
That's enough from us tonight. I'm Tom Spanners Watson. He's Frank the Guru Gibbs. We'll see you next time.
Man, I'm looking forward to that Mustang tournament. It should be a real killer.
And of course that rally, man. I am hanging out for not only our rally, but 3D's. That was one of my favourite series ever.
Oh, absolutely, mate. It's brilliant. How many people do you reckon saw that secret link?
I don't know. I guess we'll find out.